Alan Hahn has a fundamentalist, which is this. Hembo, can somebody turn Hembo's mic off? Top 5 best moves of the NBA offseason so far. What do you got?
Well, like to me, like some of these moves are obvious and some under the radar. The first one we're starting with is number 5 on this side. Are we doing number 5?
Number 5
Yes.
over there.
Number 5. I mean, while you were sleeping, the Pelicans traded for Dejounte Murray. Dejounte Murray, like think about what they just added here to a Pelicans team that had a great finish to the season. Zion gets hurt, but he started to figure out, light went on. And here's a stat for you, Hembo. Over the last 3 years, this is on the internet, so I know it's true. The last 3 years, Murray has led the NBA in steals, total steals. Do you know who's second, Graz? You're really good at this.
I don't, actually, yeah.
Herb Jones, you know who he is?
Nope.
His teammate now. I mean, you gotta watch your dribble against this Pelicans team. They are bringing it. No Big Easy anymore in New Orleans defensively. All right, number 4. Miracles do happen, right? In New York, we love tabloid stories. Well, stop the presses. The Knicks and the Nets made a trade, and it worked for both teams. It's amazing. Mikal Bridges crosses the bridge, becomes a Knick, the final infinity stone to the Nova Knicks, maybe. What did it cost? Everything. 5 first-round picks. That's what it cost. So it's a deal that works for both. And you know what I can't believe? No one has tried this yet in the NBA. The core of a championship college team now gets together to try to do it in the NBA. UNLV didn't do it with those guys, Stacey Augmon, Larry Johnson, all of them. Where was Moses Scurry? Why couldn't we get him on a team with Greg Anthony? We didn't do it with a lot of the teams that you could have done it with. The Knicks are trying it in New York. All right. Number 3 is, again, one we talked about a lot. Mutual Admiration Society in Dallas. Klay Thompson needed a new place, a fresh start, needed a team that believed in him, that cared about him. Dallas Mavericks love him. They needed him because they need a veteran with experience and shooting. That's important as well. Catch and shoot threes over the last 2 seasons. Number 1 in the league, 43%. What was Dallas last season? And catch and shoot threes? Bottom 3rd in the league. Not very good. That's going to improve for Dallas. They are going to love him, and so is Luka, who hasn't had a teammate like this. Not like the way he can shoot. Number 2. This was dicey. This could have been number 1. Paul George to the Sixers. That's another obvious one, right? An eye-opening move. A great move. Daryl Morey gets his guy again. Shocking, I know. Big fish in free agency, and he gets him. And now, while the process is dead in Philadelphia, they are still alive when it comes to dragging Joel Embiid to a championship. That's what they need. And you want some history. For Joel Embiid, this is going to be the best team he plays with. Why? He's now got 2 All-Stars with him. Tyrese Maxey's an All-Star. Paul George is an All-Star. The last time the Sixers had 3 All-Stars in one season on the same team, all the way back to the 80s. Charles Barkley, Mo Cheeks, how about that one?
Yeah.
And Dr. J. That's how long it's been since the Sixers have had this kind of talent on the roster together. Last but not least, so behind the curtain, I'll let everybody know. TB, you know this because I texted you. I went to, knowing I'm doing this list, I went to all of our NBA hoop heads here at ESPN, and I asked them all, what's the one move that you feel like is the best move that you've seen so far in the offseason? While this one right here got a lot of votes, the Thunder going after Alex Caruso, bringing in Isaiah Hartenstein, as much as it pains me to say. This was the most popular answer, the most popular response.
Said best move. This is best move.
What if I told you that the number 1 team in the West got better? What if I told you that their top 4 defense got better? What if I told you that one of the youngest teams in the league got more experience, got everything they needed? And what if I told you that Alex Caruso is somebody that a lot of people think could have the same impact on this Thunder team that Andre Iguodala had on the Warriors and that dynasty getting started? We shall see a year from now.
Tim, what do you think of this list?
I mean, look, it's a good list. Again, I think we're talking about 2 moves in one here. Number 1, which is a bit of an odd
I understand you have a problem with the
but no, look,
numbers.
Obviously all makes sense.
Is it moves?
Yeah, moves.
Right.
And look, I think you could argue that in the Knicks-Nets trade, the Nets got the better end of it. I understand why the Knicks made it. We're not going to talk much about the Pelicans for many reasons, but the Pelicans have no centers on their team. They probably need to get some centers at some point. They traded one of them away in that deal. We'll see what their team looks like. But the Thunder are the big winners of the offseason because they have the clear lead in the Western Conference to be in the NBA Finals next June.
Do we still have Bobby Marks? Bobby, I wanted to get there you go. What's your take on Alan's list?
Well, you can blame me for number one because when Alan texted me last night, I gave him Hartenstein and Caruso. So I'm the numbers guy, and I gave him two guys instead of.
No, most of my answers were that one. There were some others that stayed on the cutting room floor, but most of the answers were that. You were the first to respond, though, so I appreciate you for getting back to me right away.
Bobby, what about that? Yeah, what about that Knicks-Nets trade? Like, was there a winner in that for you?
I think both teams are. I mean, certainly, listen, there hasn't been a trade between Brooklyn New Jersey and New York since 1983. And I teased and I said that New York had to pay like the New York State surplus as far as the tax goes when you're dealing with the Nets and adding 2 more picks. So 2 different timelines as far as both teams going. Certainly where New York is, championship or kind of bust, I guess, and where Brooklyn is certainly rebuilding. But that trade does not happen if Brooklyn doesn't get those picks back from Houston in 2025, and then that swap in 26 gets eliminated.